All right, let's dive into one of the most powerful stories ever put to paper, George Orwell's Animal Farm. What we're going to do is unpack how a beautiful dream of freedom and revolution can curdle and turn into the exact nightmare it was trying to escape.
So, it all kicks off in a pretty miserable place called Manor Farm. And on this farm, a prize-winning old boar named Old Major plants a single, powerful seed of an idea. It's an idea of rebellion, a dream of a world without their human master, Mr. Jones.
You see, Old Major's vision of a world run by animals, for animals, really struck a chord. And honestly, their owner, Mr. Jones, made it pretty easy. His neglect and cruelty were basically the perfect fuel for this revolutionary fire that was about to start.
And that fire, well, it caught on fast. One day, a drunk Mr. Jones just forgets to feed them, and that was it. That was the final straw. The animals just seize the moment, and in this incredible, spontaneous uprising, they drive him out. For a moment, it is pure, unfiltered hope. They finally believe they're in charge of their own lives.
Okay, so you've won your freedom. Now what? You need rules, a system, right? So the pigs, who everyone agrees are the cleverest animals, they step up. Led by two standouts, the visionary Snowball and the quieter Napoleon, they create a whole philosophy, animalism. And its core, a set of sacred, unbreakable laws.
Just look at these. They're simple, they're clear, and they are packed with the pure idealism of this new society. This is the foundation of everything they hope to build, a world of total equality, completely free from the corruption of humans. And remember, these are supposed to be unbreakable. Key words, supposed to be. But you know what they say? Idealism is great until reality kicks in. And pretty soon, a quiet struggle for power starts brewing right at the top. And that's when the first, tiny cracks begin to show in the foundation of Animal Farm.
And at the heart of that struggle are our two leaders, who could not be more different. On one hand, you have Snowball. He's the visionary, the true believer, always talking about educating everyone and planning these huge projects like a windmill to make life better for all. And then there's Napoleon. He's playing a completely different, much quieter game. While Snowball is talking, Napoleon is quietly grabbing power, most creepily by taking a litter of puppies away to educate them himself.
And it doesn't take long for things to get a little unequal. The pigs start taking all the milk and apples for themselves. They even move into the farmhouse. And when the other animals start asking, hey, wait a minute, this is when we meet the pig's secret weapon, Squealer. Think of him as the ultimate spin doctor. He tells everyone, listen, we pigs do all the brain work. We need this extra food to stay smart and keep you safe. It's a brilliant, terrifying piece of propaganda.
And how do you stop people from asking hard questions? You make it impossible to even think. Complex ideas get boiled down into this simple, mindless chant. The sheep, especially, just start bleating it whenever there's a debate. It's the perfect way to drown out anyone who disagrees.
All right, so we've seen the slow creep of corruption, right? Well, buckle up, because that slow creep is about to become an all-out sprint into tyranny. This is the turning point.
Right in the middle of a big debate about the windmill, Napoleon makes his move. He lets out this weird whistle, and suddenly those puppies he was educating, they're not puppies anymore. They are a pack of huge, vicious dogs who are loyal only to him, and they chase Snowball right off the farm. Just like that, debate is dead. Brute force is in charge. The revolution is officially over.
So, with his rival gone, Napoleon needs a new way to control everyone, and he finds the perfect tool, a boogeyman. Snowball becomes the scapegoat for everything. Did the windmill fall down? Snowball's sabotage. Is the harvest bad? Snowball's fault. He becomes this invisible enemy, supposedly lurking just out of sight, and that fear keeps everyone united behind Napoleon.
Now, the manipulation gets even sneakier. It becomes about literally rewriting the past. The animals see the pigs sleeping in the farmhouse beds, and they think, wait, that's against the rules. But when they check the barn wall, the commandment has been changed, and Squealer, the spin doctor, comes out and says, oh, you must be misremembering. The rule was never against beds, just against sheets. It's pure gaslighting, designed to make you doubt your own memory.
And if you think changing a rule about beds is bad, it gets so much darker. Napoleon holds these horrifying public executions, forcing animals to confess to made-up crimes. And afterward, the animals check the wall, and they see this rule has also been changed. 2 little words have been added: without cause. It's a retroactive justification for murder. The law is no longer a shield, it's a weapon.
And through all of this chaos and terror, what is the most decent, loyal animal on the farm doing? Boxer, the cart horse. His response to every problem, every setback, is just to say, I will work harder. He is the heart and soul of the farm, the true believer whose trust in leadership is just absolutely tragic.
Boxer gives everything to the farm. He's a war hero, the hardest worker they have. But when his body finally gives out, when he collapses from pure exhaustion, the leaders he trusted completely betray him in the cruelest way imaginable. They tell everyone they're sending him to a hospital, but they actually sell him to the knacker, the glue factory. And the worst part, they use the money to buy themselves whiskey.
So years go by. The revolution is just a faint memory now, and over that time, the pig's transformation becomes complete. Any line that once existed between them and the human oppressors they fought against, well, that line has been completely erased.
You see a total, shocking abandonment of every single principle they once held. One day, the animals see the pigs walking on their hind legs. Then they see them carrying whips. They start wearing clothes they found in the farmhouse, and finally they're having dinner parties with the neighboring human farmers. They have become the very thing they hated.
And to make it all official, the animals look at the barn wall one day and the 7 commandments are just gone. Painted over, all of them. In their place is a single, new maxim that sums up the entire twisted journey of Animal Farm.
And there it is, the absolute genius of totalitarian logic. It takes the very language of the revolution, all animals are equal, and uses it to justify a system of total absolute inequality. It's a phrase that both acknowledges the dream and spits on it at the same time, cementing the pig's place as the new masters.
The story ends with this haunting, unforgettable image. The working animals are outside, in the cold, looking through the farmhouse window. Inside, the pigs and the humans are drinking, laughing, and playing cards. And the animals look from pig to man and from man to pig and back again, but it's already impossible to say which is which. The revolution didn't get rid of the tyrants, it just changed their faces.
And in the end, Orwell's simple barnyard story leaves us with that one massive, timeless question. It's a warning, isn't it? A warning about how easily our best intentions, our purest ideals of freedom and equality can be rotted away by propaganda, by fear, and by the quiet, creeping hunger for power.